please.
Please approach.
You may stand there, or you may approach the dais. You might be heard easier if you come up here.
I'm Chicker Stokes.
I'm here to talk about the historic Pacific Trail that connected the town of Forks with the early pioneers in the Bogus Shield and Hope River valleys. Chris Morganroth was the first European American to settle the upper Bogus Shield, arriving in 1889. He immediately identified the need for a trail to provide for himself and the settlers that followed. The trail was punched in by 1891. His account of this construction is chapter 7 of his book, Footprints Across the Olympics, and I've made a copy of it for the commissioners. I've also attached, it may be a copyright violation, but I think Mr. Morganroth would want you to see it. I've also attached the article I wrote for the Peninsula Daily News, some maps and correspondence with Dwayne Miles, who has been the main mover in locating and opening this historic conveyance. I forgot to include the 1907 proclamation of the Jefferson County Commissioners, who pledged the county's support for maintaining this critical piece of infrastructure. When I arrived at the Bogus Shield Rainforest in West Jefferson County 90 years after Chris Morganroth, there wasn't much evidence of the Pacific Trail or the frontier that the trail represented. Living just a mile downstream, I would be Chris Morganroth's nearest neighbor after his partner Gus pulled up stakes. Downs Creek Road is one of the last unelectrified communities in the lower 48. Our lifestyle more resembles the early pioneers than most Americans. But the Olympic pioneers were among the hardiest and toughest of America's citizens. The property that I bought is shown as the Flying S Ranch on old maps and was the homestead of another German immigrant that migrated not long after Chris Morganroth. Otto Siegfried named his farm for events at Kitty Hawk on the other side of the continent. The Pacific Trail was more evident then, and it ran right through the Flying S Ranch. It was within earshot of Flying S that Chris Morganroth encountered John Hulsdonk, the legendary Iron Man of the Hoe, carrying a 120-pound wood stove along the Pacific Trail. The stove was all right, quipped the Iron Man, but the 40-pound bag of flour in the oven kept shifting and throwing him off balance. I was unaware that this piece of history came through my farm until I was approached by Dwayne Miles back in 1990, asking if I would allow public access across my land. I said yes, and I have since worked with Dwayne's Little Citizens Committee to locate and restore the old trail. Most of our trail work has been in Clallam County on the section between Bear Creek on the Bogus Shield and Forks. There has been a groundswell of public support, but some government entities have been chilly to the restoration. DNR, the land manager for a good part of that section, wanted us to secure a recreational grant for them before allowing us to engage in the clearing. Before taking on the second section of trail from the Bogus Shield to Hoe, we would benefit by the endorsement of the Jefferson County Commissioners. I'll be following up on this introduction in future contact with the Commissioners, and hope you have a few moments to look over the material I brought for your consideration. Thank you.